Hello, would you like to know a way to remember the order at which the arteries come off the aorta? Of course you would. So here we have a beautiful looking aorta just here, okay? Maybe not beautiful, but an aorta nonetheless. Now, how do we remember the order at which these arteries come off of the aorta? Well, the way that I like to think about it is with something called canned soup. Okay? Now, what do we know about canned soup? Well, it's really good in cans. Okay? So it is really good in cans. Okay? Canned soup is really good in cans. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I know canned soup is really good in cans, but how is this going to help me remember the order at which these arteries are coming off the aorta? Well, let's draw some branches on here, shall we? So, we have got one just here. We've got another one just here. We then have one there. Now, technically speaking, on the other side as well. We then have an itty bitty one coming off at the side here. We then have another one about there. And then we have the bifurcation of the aorta at the bottom. Okay? So, jot that one a bit more. So, now that we've got this, we can think, okay, well, we've got canned soup being really good in cans. Okay? So, what does the canned stand for? Well, canned in this case stands for the celiac trunk. Okay? And that's the one that's going to supply the foregut. Now, what about soup? Well, soup's a little bit easier because soup in this case is for the superior mesenteric artery. Okay? And that one is what gives rise or supplies the midgut. Now, what about really? Well, really, in this case, is for the renal. Now, the renal is the one that's going to supply the kidneys. Okay? And remember, this is a paired one on either side. We then have good. Now, good in this case is all to do with the gonadal. But this one's kind of cheating a little bit, because the gonadal artery is not a sex-specific artery. Now, in biological males, this would be technically called the testicular artery. But in biological females, this would be the ovarian artery. The way that I always like to think about this one is that, well, you know what? Sex is good. And this gonadal artery is going to supply those reproductive balls, okay? Whether it's ovaries or testicles. So what I'm going to write here is testicles and ovaries. There we go. Now, going on to the in this case. Now, in is nice and easy as well, because in is for the inferior mesenteric, giving supply to the hindgut. Okay? Now, finally, cans. Well, this is just where the aorta is bifurcated into the common iliacs. Okay? And this pretty much supplies pelvic structures and anything in the lower limb. And so, that is it. Okay? Canned soup is really good in cans. And that will help you to remember the order at which the arteries come off of the aorta. Thank you.